This is the content we want to see. Let's look at this list. What do you guys think about Johnnyboi 1v1 tier list? It's pretty accurate in my opinion. So there's good old Johnnyboi in the bottom right in Twitch chat, and we have our tier list of a bunch of people. I don't know what he classified this on, like what list of people he picked from, but it looks like starting off with the D tier, we have some names I've heard of, fairly common. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with majority of these players. Maybe not like Iricky, Drawley, and Ashley. Actually, no, you guys definitely know who Ashley is, and probably Drawley. But Iricky, like an NA player, who's very good at 1v1. He's usually like top, I'd say like 30 on the 1v1 playlist. I don't know recently, but really good. Okay, so on this list, out of everyone that I see, the only person I do not know of at all is probably maybe Killers, and that's it. And actually, I've never seen Razier's play. I think is how you pronounce that. I'm pretty sure I saw a recent video of my recommended. It was like him versus who was it? It was him versus fuck. I can't remember, bro. But I gotta watch that now that I see he's in A tier because Daniel being in A tier and him being in A tier, it's like, oh wow, probably gotta see this. Anyways, let me see how accurate this is. One is this show matches only. Johnnyboi 1v1 tier list. It's pretty accurate. Hard to argue about Johnny about ones. It's very true. He's gonna know the best of anything. Uh, okay, I'm gonna look back at this. What do I agree with? So S tier should probably be the easiest one because it's literally just the best players of Rocket League. Whereas the other four, it's like they could go in other spots. I feel like Jorias, Easy S, Jack S, First S, TRK S. It's funny. I've only seen like a couple TRK matches as well. KV1, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Definitely a Saudi Arabian player. I've seen that name before, maybe in like a 3v3 match or something. But wow, someone link me a KV1 or don't link me in the comments because I don't think the comments. I think the comments think that's like spam. But tell me a good match for that and I'll watch it. Moxie, very good at ones. He did a road to bronze to SSL or like unranked to SSL in one stream and in ones. Or no, it was unranked to the #1 spot. Moxie did it. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. That shit is insane. Moxie did it against there's I don't know. Yeah, that's really hard to do. The #1 spot is unheard of. So AJ, yes. Ocality, yes. Pretty solid S tier list. Nothing but respect for those guys. KV1 though, I still got to see a match from him, see if he's really about that. Daniel and A, what do y'all think about that? Rawas, I remember seeing him. He had like insane defense, excuse me. Evo, uh, I obviously Evo's like NA player, a kid plays on XSET, just got picked up. Um, I don't know if he should be as high as A. I don't know if he's good as these other players. I think like the top of A. Oh, and by the way, is this an order from best to worst right now? I doubt it. I'm not going to take that into account because Daniel would be the top of A. That's one thing I do agree with. But I feel like Daniel maybe could be S, but not quite. Maybe A is good for him. Oski, A, I like that. NWPO, Fahad, Luis. That's, I mean, solid A tier list. B tier, we got Toxic, who I've seen a ton of lately. He has Ball Chaser on, like, the website where I look at my replays, or where you can download your replays too. Toxic uploads pretty much everything, so every time I see him, I pretty much download it and look at it, and he's really good. So, yeah. B tier is pretty solid, accurate for him. Chronic, who is playing 1v1 for, I think it was All Mid, picked him up for this Gamers 8 tourney. So that's going to be huge. Chronic, a B tier 1v1 player in this case. Going to be taking on some of the other players and probably coming out with some dubs. CRR, very good. Razebull. Razebull, I would put in. Oh, wait. Lion Blaze 2. I agree with the rest of this list. Yans, Monkey Moon Killers. Monkey Moon is like always really good in ones. But I don't know if he's good enough for A. I think a lot of the A tier players are better than him. But Monkey Moon in B tier, I think is pretty accurate. Lion Blaze, and Razebull though, those are maybe my two I would debate for A, especially Lion Blaze. Right? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't grind ones as much, and I'm just stuck in the past because I remember Lion Blaze was always filthy. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's probably accurate. Okay, Wisty, he was always #1 in ones for a long time within the past like few months. South American player, I believe. Or wait, Wisty and Wiz? No. Wiz is an NA player. Wiz is alright. Dead Monster's good. Rise. Wait, Rise plays 1v1? Like Moisturize? I did not know that. Exotic, Scrub, Atomic. I didn't know Atomic did either. And then Relating Wave. Solid C tier. I have no complaints. And then D tier. See, I think a lot of these D tier players should be above C tier. This is maybe my only thing. I feel like Ashley's better than majority of these players. I feel like Drawley could be. I feel like, well, OSM, I haven't seen him recently, but in the past I knew he was really good. So maybe he could make a case for being above these players. Revzy was always really good in the past. Like Revzy and OSM were in like the same era. I kind of consider that of their like peaks of show matches. Iricky very good. Ixo very good. But like once again, Ixo's another like kind of older name. Taroko, I was unaware he played ones like that. And then Atomic, I'm surprised he's on this list actually. I don't know he was like a 1v1 main in that regard, but well, I mean it's Atomic, so of course he's gonna be here. But yeah, pretty accurate for the most part. I think it's a good list. What do you guys think? Okay, it's surprising to me, but it's not surprising for them. So, for another words, let's take a look. So the group stage in the playoffs is pretty much the same thing. It goes games 1 through 5, and it's I mean the same thing for playoffs, but it has 7 games, and it goes 3v3 every single other round. So I personally, as a viewer, wish I got to saw 3v3, 1v1, and then 2v2, and then like repeat the cycle or whatever, and you can choose whatever one you want as the losers team, like how it usually is. But this one, you have to do 3v3 after every other game, or every other game. So what do you guys think about that? But from their perspective, I understand it's very important because when you fly all the teams out, I feel like it's important to like include everyone in the 3v3 format, especially for like viewership as well. Like people would rather see the whole teams compete against each other in like this $2 million tournament. So I can see why they would do that. But myself as a viewer, I was low-key looking forward to seeing a lot of 2v2 and 1v1 action, whereas now it's just going to be like, let's say Dignitas is taking on Team Falcons, all right? So they have the 3v3, which is absolutely insane, going to be fun to watch. Then the game 2, let's say Dignitas loses the first one, and game 2 is played, and they choose the 1v1. Joriaz goes in there, beats Ocala, then it's another 3v3, and then a game 4, the game 0 will be the one that has not been chosen in game 2. So I guess that guarantees the 2v2 right there. If they pick game 1v1 in game 2, then you would get 2v2 game 4. Or if they chose 2v2 in game 2, you would get 1v1 in game 4. I believe I said that right. But, however, since these are best of 5s, right? All matches are best of 5s. You could never see one of the modes, and that is what kind of annoys me. Imagine seeing, Falcons versus Dignitas. You see 3v3. You see Ocala. You see Falcons win the 3v3. You see Ocala destroy Joriaz in the 1v1, and then you see the Falcons win again game 3. You would never get to see the 2v2, and that's the only thing that kind of bothers me. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think, if that is anything that concerns you, or if that's just me. But it's definitely going to be cool to see the other modes, regardless. I just hope they all go the distance in every single format, or every single series. But in the playoffs, it looks like it has a way better chance of going the distance. So the comments here actually pretty much just said everything I just summarized. It's good in a way because it probably encouraged more of the top teams to consider going. Different format from the qualifiers. So I guess in the qualifiers, it was what I was saying, 3v3. Loser chooses between 2v2 and 1v1, and then they play either 2v2 or 1v1, the one that wasn't played, and then they just pick whatever they want. Oh, the groups got announced. G2, Guild, Complexity, Twisted Minds, Detonator, Luminosity. That seems pretty free. It's going to be between these top 3. No, Luminosity is really good. But I think G2 has a clear advantage for like 3v3, right? So now that we know 3v3 is going to be majority of these games played, those are the teams you really got to look at. So G2, SSG, I think, has the edge over Endpoint, as we saw in the major. Falcons, and did Furia get further than FaZe? I think they did. I think Furia got further than FaZe in the major. So just based off that, we could say like G2, SSG, Falcons, and Furia. And everyone else in the other groups, I mean, obviously they have Semper and FaZe. I think Owl Esports will actually be really good. They're, O1 Esports as well. Falcons, Dignitas, Renegades, all mid. This is probably the strongest like overall group. Group B, he got picked up, and they're really good. Secret's good, Rogue's good. It'd probably B and D are my favorites for the best groups. I think A and C have like two weak teams, or weaker teams, I should say. But B, if I had to choose to watch like two of them, one of them, I'd go between B and D. I think probably D. All right, well, those are sick groups. I really like that. Let's see what the others have to say. How many make it out of groups? If it's just two, then wow. Yeah, it is just two, because only 8 are in playoffs, as he says. Oh, and G2 start ahead, and they start in the semifinals in Guild. So all the two teams that I was listing in the previous picture are probably like starting off in the semifinals. Atomic versus Atomic is happening. Holy shit. Bold of you to assume Luminosity gets past Detonator. I love when y'all have jokes. And this is happening in 2 days, or 1 day, I guess, since this video is published. So July 14th, that's going to be a fun one to watch. Make sure you're there at the CEST times, whatever that means. Central? Is that Central? I think it is, right?